Hello, dear friends. Welcome to our studies of the book Courage, brought to you by several spirit authors through the mediumship of Francisco Cândido Xavier. Here we are. Every week, we study one of the chapters of this beautiful book. And today, chapter is chapter 49. So we will learn today with the spirit Emmanuel through the mediumship of Chico Xavier. And he titled this chapter, What Really Matters. So, what does it matter? Right? What are the things in our lives? Let's improve our spelling. What really matter? So, if we had to know of ourselves, what are we here to do, right? To have the courage to undergo the different trials and tribulations that we have in our lives. What really matters? So first he will have 10 items that he says does not matter, and then he will go into what really matters. One, two, three, four items that really matter. So 10 things do not matter, 4 things matter. So let's learn with Emmanuel. He says, it does not matter. There are pathways threatened by incomprehensions, that ignorance may oppress us, that slander may take us to a general discredit, that defamation bring us an undeserved disrepute, that lies envelop us in darkness, that persecution crosses our pathway, that waves of criticism may take traps in order to condemn us, that some obstacles multiply themselves in order to delay our life journey, that a beloved one abandons us, and the darkness constantly conspires, trying to lead us to ruin. What really matters is that we may be enveloped in patience, that we apply for an unconditional forgiveness, that we seek refuge in humility, thus observing that we only have and acquired what divine providence lends or allow us to achieve, that we may exchange the evil received by goodness, whatever the circumstances may be. Therefore, we should accept that each person places him or herself wherever they please. Because of these, we should, above all, have peace of mind, working and blessing everyone, recognizing that we are all from God and in God, whose laws will judge us tomorrow and always according to our own works. Emmanuel. So we're all set, ready to go for this July 4th. That's when this is going to air originally. So we are in a planet of trials and expiations, undergoing planetary transition to a world of regeneration. And there are many things that we encounter in our lives that we think matters, like pathway threatened by incomprehensions, ignorance, slander, defamation, lies, persecution, waves of criticism, obstacles multiplying, delaying us, that a beloved one abandons us, the darkness constantly conspiring, trying to lead us to ruin. He says those things do not matter. And notice he puts what doesn't matter first, and it's more numerous, 2.5 times, than what really matters. I also want to bring attention to you that our Master himself incarnated on the earth in the body of a man 2,000 years ago, roughly. And he suffered all of these in ignorance, incomprehension, slander, defamation, lies, criticism, obstacles that his beloved ones abandoned him, right? His disciples didn't honor him. And the time he was arrested, darkness constantly conspiring, still conspiring against Christ. But Emmanuel said none of that matters. Those are things you and I will experience. But how we've seen in other chapters, how we respond to those is what matters. He says, what matters is that we may envelop in patience. Patience can be an antidote to incomprehension, ignorance, slander, defamation, lies, because ultimately, if those things are untrue, they will come to light. They're not true. Persecution, criticism, obstacles, losing loved ones, so on and so forth. What else matters to us? That we apply for unconditional forgiveness. So we want to ask if there's anything, dear friends, that we've done that we know to others that hurt them, we need to apply for forgiveness. And we want to apply forgiveness to others. We want to forgive others. We want to free ourselves of that. It doesn't mean we're going to forget. It doesn't mean we condone the behavior. It means we're freeing ourselves. We're allowing that to pass. And we move on, we press on. Because Jesus forgave those who persecuted him. So who are we to still keep that thorn of revenge, of hatred inside of us? So we need to forgive, which is harder done than said. It's easier said than done. That we seek refuge in humility, thus observing that we only have acquired what divine providence lends or allow us to achieve. So we think that we do everything on our own, but God is granting us things that we have and we have acquired for our work, for fulfilling the law of work. But at any given time, if those things don't fulfill our needs in this life, it can be taken. And that's why we have so much desperation sometimes when people have and they lose. We're so materialistic that it's all about having, doing, not being, but doing things, traveling, bigger cars, bigger house, experience, where we forget that God put us in a certain place to help the community we're in. So we are allowed to travel to a different place. We are blessed to grow our roots there. And there's only so much that Mother Earth can take in terms of resources to accommodate all of these. So we are going to have to work together to preserve and to create new and to come together with solutions. He says what matters is patience, forgiveness, humility, and that we may exchange the evil received with goodness. So if someone is slandering us, lying about us, criticizing us, abandoning us, so on and so forth, we do the good to everyone, including those who hurt us. Extremely hard, because if it was easy, we would be in the spiritual realm dictating the books, not reading them incarnate. So it takes many lifetimes of us practicing until we learn the lesson. Those will come to us. Therefore, he says, we should accept that each person places him or herself wherever he pleases. So our actions in the past place us today. And our actions today will create our future. Our future in this life and many lifetimes. Because the people we chose to hurt in the past might be the ones incarnated with us today or in a future life. So when I choose to break the divine laws, or excuse me, I'll rephrase, when we choose to not fulfill the divine laws as we learn in the Spirit's book, part 3, and the first chapter talks about if you're not doing good, you're doing evil. And what is to do good? Is to compare what I want to do with what's in those laws. If they fulfill that law, we are doing the good. If not, we're doing evil by definition. So when we choose to break, to not fulfill those laws, there's no God sitting there, a person with a beard. That's Santa Claus. That's judging us naughty and nice. That's not God. God is not a person to begin with. God is this infinite energy that creates everything that we see. But our own conscience will require of us repair. Remember? You repent, You expiate and then you repair. That's in the Heaven and Hell book by Andrea Luiz. If I'm mistaken, please correct me, but it should be the Penal Code of Future Life. So when we chose to do wrong, then at some point we have to answer for it. Action and reaction. Some other people call it karma. Action and reaction. So by the mechanisms of our thoughts, the things we do, the things we focus on, what we choose to spend our time with, then we commune with good spirits who wants us to work for the good, versus being led by the force of evil who want us to be selfish, only my family, my things, mine, and not all. So we want to be aware, watch and pray. Question 919 of the Spirit's book. So what matters? Right? Let's recap. Does not matter. Incomprehensions, ignorance, slander, defamation, lies, persecution, criticism, obstacles, abandonment, and darkness conspiring against us. What matters is patience, unconditional forgiveness, humility, and exchange the evil by goodness. And I will go one step far. Who am I to say more than Emmanuel can? But we should not be the ones slandering, spreading ignorance, spreading fake news, putting defamations on people, gossiping about them, saying things that are not true. We shouldn't lie. We shouldn't persecute people. We shouldn't be the ones criticizing people. We shouldn't be putting obstacles in people's ways. We shouldn't abandon our loved ones, and we should definitely not conspire with darkness. But clothe ourselves in patience, unconditional forgiveness, seeking refuge in humility, and exchanging any evil we receive with goodness. Feeling the good, visualizing the good, molding the good, doing the good with all the resources we have at hand. Dear friends, may you have a blessed day. Happy 4th of July for those in the United States of America. May this blessed country bring to us in the English speaking community of spirits as much joy of being together today celebrating Americans' independence. For those elsewhere, may you have a blessed Thursday. If you're watching this on demand, may you have a blessed day, whichever day that is. I hope you'll join me. I hope you subscribe, follow, and like so others can find what really matters. With the Spirit, Emmanuel. God willing, I'll be back with you next week with another study. Until then, stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.